Welcome back to the channel, Daniel the Mediocre Ranger here. This is a 600 point competitive Lothlorien list. I'm going to show you the list and then explain how I'd use it. Let's go. How did I make this list competitive? I dropped a Boromir in it. But first, the Lothlorien contingent. We've got Haldir, heavy armor, bow, and elven cloak. His full kit, he's 90 points. And then he's got a full warband with him. So he's gonna have 7 warriors with spear and shield, 1 has a banner, and then we've got 4 warriors with elf bow, 2 with just sword, but it's a hand and a half sword, and 2 wood elf sentinels. Yes, sentinels. These guys are amazing. Warband number 2 is a Galadrim captain on armored horse with shield, and he's gonna have 5 Galadrim knights with shield, and one of them has a bow. One of those in there is my Gil-galad conversion, so I just pretend he's normal. Lastly, Boromir with horse and elven cloak, and yeah, obviously he's not on a horse, but I'm the mediocre ranger. I'm not the I get whatever I want ranger. For a friendly game, I'm using a proxy. If I was taking this to a tournament, I'd borrow one from a friend. So here's some ways I would run this. You have amazing flexibility with your cavalry contingent. The captain is not a world beater. He's not going to just rush in and destroy things. So use these almost as a heavy light cavalry. You can scout with the best of them. Fleet foot means you're going full speed through forest. And so you've got some great flexibility and mobility, but don't expect them to overpower everything. And when it comes to flexibility, these 2 wood elf sentinels are going to put in work. They can mess with your opponent's lines, keep them guessing on how you're going to use them, and so use these guys to just frustrate your opponent any way you can, as often as you can. And then welcome to the Lothlorien list, a 3 attack mounted hero. Yes, he's only strength 4, which matches Celeborn and Haldir, but 6 might behind him means you're willing to spend the might to get the wounds if you run into defense 7 or something high. And at least Boromir's gonna have an elven cloak, so that's a little bypass. Just keep him behind some terrain if there's those magical spellcasters targeting him. Let's talk customization options. The first thing I would do is add guards of the Galadrim court, fight 6 pikes. I don't have those models, so I didn't show them. And they're only 1 point more than the warriors with spear and shield. So you can easily tinker around, maybe drop 1 model and convert a bunch of those into guards of the Galadrim court. Maybe the theme is getting to you. When would Boromir go to Lothlorien? Why would he have an elven cloak on? So swap them out. You could put in Legolas for almost the same points. Then you've got the elf connection. You're just fine there. And then you've got some crazy archery, but you do lose a big combat hero. If it is a combat hero that you're looking for, which is very helpful in Lothlorien, then Gimli is a fun thematic choice. This could be right after the War of the Ring. You could even swap out Haldir for one of his brothers like Oriphan, and you've got this killer combo of Gimli and Oriphan running around and just chopping stuff up. Lastly, you could stick a bow on that captain. Easily do a shield for bow swap, or drop some more gear elsewhere and get a bow on your 2-might captain on horseback. Now this is a pretty affordable army to create at 600 points. I have personally only bought the boxed set of plastic infantry, the boxed set of plastic cavalry, and then I got Haldir secondhand very inexpensively. So that's the list. You've got 23 models at 600 points, which is low but not terrifying. About half your points are spent on heroes, which is pretty typical for me. You've got a lot of defense 6, a lot of shields, some elven cloaks in there, so you are pretty survivable and resistant to magic everywhere except for the very endangered Boromir. So here's what I want from you. I want you to run this list, or a very similar version, and tell me how you tweaked it. And give me your feedback. How did it go for you? Did this army perform? Was it fun to use for you and your opponent? Give me a review and a comment on what it was like to use this army. And do you enjoy this type of video? Are army lists something that you enjoy thinking about and watching in a video? So let me know with a thumbs up and a comment if this is something you want to see more of. That wraps it up. Thanks for watching. This is Daniel the Mediocre Ranger saying goodbye for now.